Hey, today I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump with the built-in filter thing that it has, which is in the gas tank on my 1996 Dodge Ram 2500 V10. Stick with me. It's going to be something. Welcome to my life. All right, as much as I want to work on the $10 boat today, and I really do, the weather is just terrible. It's been pouring for 2 days and humidity is through the roof. So I'm going to restrain from that, even though I want to make a video and I know you want a video. And I'm going to work on my 1996 Dodge truck. Now I had this since 1996. I had actually bought a Jeep in 2005, brand new. And it was just a Wrangler, nothing special. And it was in Alaska, and I had it for, I don't know, maybe 6 months. And I was driving down the street, and a contractor that wasn't from Alaska up there building houses was in a van. I saw him coming. He's coming down a hill in a van, and he couldn't stop. There's nothing I could do, and he smashed into the side of the Jeep, and then on the other side shoved me into a telephone pole and bent the frame on the Jeep and whatever. And so I took the Jeep down, and well, I didn't take it down. I had it being fixed there. It was on the line of being totaled. And I bought this V10 Dodge Ram. Now this had been ordered by a contractor and had been sitting on their lot for quite some time. I guess people didn't appreciate the color, which I like. And of course, you know, you don't buy a V10 unless you need a big motor. But I was young and wanted the biggest motor I could get. And actually, I'm glad I did. All these years later, this truck has held out very well. I've had very little problem with it. In 1997 or 8, let's see, 1998, I had left Alaska, and the guy that I bought the truck from, whom was I don't know, a little more than acquaintance, but a little less than a friend, I think. But he was working in the service department at that time, and he said, hey, when I had taken it in to get it ready to leave Alaska, we were going to drive down and tow a trailer. So I wanted it serviced, and he said, hey, do the transmission flush. And I didn't want to do a transmission flush back when I didn't have any money, you know. And transmission flush was like $200 back then, you know. And I didn't want to spend $200. I'm about to PCS or, you know, move, whatever, from Alaska down to Missouri. And all that was going to cost a lot of money. We were buying a house, whatever. And he said, hey, man, no, really. Get the transmission flushed. And he kind of winked at me or whatever, but I was like, you know, I'm thinking, well, that's a lot of money. Don't want to do that. And so I had said, no, you know, I thought about it and I was just like, no, I don't want to spend $200. The truck's a year old. I don't want to, you know, spend that kind of money on a year-old truck. Doesn't need to be flushed. I haven't worked the truck or anything. And so he came out the showroom and he's like, look, dude, you need to get the transmission flushed. And I was just like, so after all, you know, 3 or 4 times of this persistence, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, just do it. And so a few minutes later, he came back with a filter and it had metal shavings in it. So I guess they knew in 1996 that the transmissions were no good, and especially couldn't hold the V10. The V10 at the time was the biggest horsepower motor they had, most torque and all that, even over the diesel at that time, and they knew there was issues. But they knew that if they put the 97 transmissions in them, they didn't have any problems again. So that was done back then. So 1 year out, they put a brand new transmission in it, and it's never had an issue since then. Really, it didn't have an issue then, but he knew there was an issue coming. And so he swapped that out for me. So at that point, I guess I considered him more than an acquaintance and pretty much a friend at that time, right? Because he looked out for me. So anyway, I got the transmission for free. Of course, it's all under warranty. So yeah, but she's been a great truck. I've loved her. I went for a while. I had a topper on it, which I didn't like the topper, but it was very functional. She sat for a year when I was in, well, actually a couple years when I was in Korea and in England. It sat in my sister's backyard, and yeah, I just sat there. So when I got back from there, I had to replace a lot of the lines and whatever. And of course, I had all the fluids flushed out of it and redone. But it's had an easy but tough life. It hasn't been stored inside too much, to be honest with you. It's been stored outside most of its life. It's got the typical fade in 1996, I think it was actually 95 or 4 that they switched to water-based paint. And Dodge didn't really know how to do that well. So you look at a lot of these, they're all faded in the top, and that's because they had swapped to water-based paint. I suspect at some point that I'll get the truck painted. It just hasn't been at the top of my list right now because I really do use this truck a lot, and if I get it painted, then I won't. I know myself too well. So yeah, it's had a pretty good life. It's been really good to me. You know, it's to the point now where I need to do brakes again all around on it. So that's one of the projects that I got coming up. You know, I put the steering stabilizers, all that stuff has been redone on the front, new bearings and all that, just not too long ago. When I say not too long ago, I don't know, it's probably been 5 years. So I guess it has been a while. But I definitely need to do brakes. But right now, she's at a dead standstill because it does need brakes. So it's to the point where it's dangerous to drive. But I stopped driving it, not because of that. I stopped driving it because the fuel pump went out on it. And the fuel pump on these is in the gas tank. And so I ordered it and I've got it in. Of course, I've been using it as a storage rack because, well, it's just been sitting here. So I got her in here. She's in the tank and the tank is full, of course. So the easiest way to do that is to pull the bed off. I know that sounds funny, but it's really disconnect the pump, the electric, and 6 bolts, and you can lift the bed off. And I want to do that anyway because I want to look for rust and whatever, you know, do some maintenance in there, whatever, with the bed off. I've never had the bed off on this thing before. So I think that would be kind of cool, just to check it out, check everything out anyway, from the top. I've done real good on chassis maintenance over the years. Usually every 2 or 3 years, I'll get on there with a wire brush any rust down and then spray it out. But anyway, that's the story on this truck. I've loved this truck. I'll probably never get rid of this truck, but I do want to drive it. So I need to get this fixed. So I'm going to start in on that. I'm going to go ahead and clear all this stuff off, take the bed cover off, and then I'm going to undo the electric and then the gas pump, and then I'm lift the bed. A lot of people just jack one side of the bed up so it's tilted so that you can get to the pump, you know, underneath the bed. I'm probably just going to take it off, and unless it becomes too big of a thing. But I don't think so. There's really not much rust underneath mine. So I will get that done, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. All right, let's get busy. All right, so I took the deck cover off so I could get to the hooks in the bed. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let the excavator just carry it with my back. It was everything I could do to get it down to there. I'm going to have to phone a friend to put it back on top of it. My back's just been killing me lately, so yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll take those stupid little things out of there. I've had those in there forever. They're supposed to hold the topper up, but they don't work for nothing, so I'll take those down too. But yeah, so the next thing I got to do is I got to come in here and with the Torx bits, take these 3 Torx off, and then that disconnects the whole gas thing from the bed, and then we'll figure out electrical. But let's get these out first, and we'll go from there. They're Torx screws. I don't know what size. I didn't put my glasses on to tell you what size. They're T20s. All right, so now our gas is disconnected from the bed. Very cool. All right, I feel so unorganized because I'm running back and forth to the garage to get tools because my big toolbox is right in the garage. I don't want to move them out here with all my tools until I get doors. So I've been using this cart, which this cart I love. I mean, it's great, but I want to get to where I can just use it for the job I'm working on, and then everything else stays in the toolbox and the cabinets. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is this little Cobalt tray that my sister got me for Christmas. I thought that was pretty cool. Holds all your parts in one place, you know, magnetic tray in there. I do have bigger magnetic trays in the other garage, and I do like them, especially, I don't want to get this one dirty, but the metal ones, you can just kind of throw stuff in there and the grease doesn't get everywhere. But just a handy thing to stay organized, you know, especially while I'm switching in between garages back and forth, you know. So, all right, let's get back to work. All right, so next we need to unhook the lights. And right up in the corner is the little thing clip there for them. Hopefully I can get it out without, oh, it looks like I might have. No, I'm hoping I can get it out without breaking it. Let's see, where's my little clippy part at? I hate these things that, I mean, they're good that they lock, but man, they're always such a pain in the butt to get out. I'm gonna figure this one out here. Let's see, where are you at? There you are. Push her in, I wonder if it's on both sides. No, I think it's just on this side. Yep, all right, yeah, just push it in and unlock her. That one actually came easy, surprisingly enough. All right, let's see what we got over here. This one, we have a choice. We can take it out there or there. I'm gonna pull it here. Well, and then we just keep working our way on down. Get the other license plate light. Actually, probably need to swap those out with LEDs while I'm under here. No kidding. This isn't coming off, so I don't have to worry about that. Come back all the way over here. And we get this other one out of here. Oh, you know what? Another thing I can fix is this exhaust while I'm down here. I took the catalytic converters off this thing. Well, they were burnt out. And and that little clip doesn't want to move. Man, I don't want to break anything. I hate messing with these clips. Why aren't you pushing the little clip? There you go. It's a fine art of pushing and pulling. You don't want to push too hard. You don't want to pull too hard. Let me hook you some more so I can use two hands. The clip is right there. It pushes. I can feel it pushing in. I can see it lifting out. It just won't pull down. Probably just years of road driving it. Ah, there it goes. Yeah, just stuck. Boy. Yeah, that's for the old topper wires there. All right, so that should be all our electrical. That's from the bed. And actually, I don't even know. Let's see, that hook's there to the bed. So that may have to come off. Let's see. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, so I didn't even do that. I didn't even need to do that. The whole thing unclips right here. Huh. Well, maybe. Yeah, I think it does. So let me unclip this. I think this is all of it right here. I don't know. All right, so that one's unclipped. You see, that whole thing's gonna go up, so let me unclip this other one too. Let's see, how does this one work? Just pushes. All right. All right. So yeah, so I didn't even need to unhook that other stuff probably. Oh, look at all that dirt coming out of there. That's good, I'm doing this anyway. All right. So, that should be it for our electrical. That's attached to the bed. Now I should go find the screws that hook the bed to the ones up in there. There's supposed to be 6 of them, but I want to double check to make sure there ain't more than 6. Because there's a possibility there's one right there. I say there's only 6. There's one. There's 2. There's gonna be more than 6. Well, all right, so maybe there's 2 in the back and 1 way up there. That'd be it. That's wild. There's 2 back here for sure. I need a little crawl cart. Don't get old. All right. There's 1 there, 1 there. So there's 4 on this one. They said 3 in the videos. Whatever. There's 4. So I'm gonna get that figured out, and we'll start busting those suckers out of there. These 2 are easy to get to. The ones down there don't look so easy to get to, but we'll get them. And that should be everything on the bed. And then it's just a matter of pulling it off. I mean, there's really nothing to it. All right, let's get this worked out. Got a little rust work to do, corrosion control. Oh, ho, ho. About a 2-piecer. Oh, is there something in the way? All right, need more extensions. See my broken exhaust bracket? I'm gonna get that fixed too. I need to get gas from a welder. I did it without gas, so it looks sloppy. Need to get it ground down and get it fixed out. I probably just need to put a whole new exhaust on it. Honestly, I don't like rust. I'll be doing a lot of corrosion control though once I get the bed off anyway. Probably wire brush all this stuff down while I got good access to it. And then I'll check for anything. It looks like I got a little leaking going, just a barely little leak going right here on my brakes, which I'm going to redo all that anyway. So, fun story, man. One time I was driving down the road to help a buddy get some furniture. You know, in the military, people are always getting furniture from somewhere. And he needed to take this furniture down a couple states. And so I was going to give him a hand, and we drove down there. And when we got down there, we saw spots over the back of the topper on the truck and all the way up the tailgate. And couldn't figure out what it was, and finally I looked underneath, and this bolt had come out over the years, which is amazing to me, but it had come out, and so I went to Dodge, and you couldn't get a bolt. I can't remember the whole deal, so we ended up going to Lowe's, and I bought a cork, and I put a cork in it, and we drove back. Of course I filled it back up, and we drove it back on a cork in here, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a good memory. Me and the guy and his son went down there. It was a good memory. But we went to Lowe's and put a cork in there. The kid couldn't, I think his son couldn't believe we were putting a cork in there. We did, and it got us home. So, there you go. Another story on this truck. This truck has a lot of memories, let me just tell you. Lots of memories. I need time, probably time for new shocks on this thing, too. It's been a while. I mean, they're not that old, but, you know, old enough that I should be replacing them, that's for sure. I need to put new tires on the back here. They're not bad tread, but they're getting old. They don't match. Oh, actually, these are the new ones. The other ones are the older ones, and that's these new styles, different tread on it. I hate when they do that kind of stuff. You know, make another series, but keep the old stuff so we can make it match. All right, so I need to move the Mustang out of the way now so I can get the excavator over here, because I'm going to lift the bed off with the excavator. But I wanted to show you this. One of the things that I've learned about these, I got these real high-class Daytona jacks, and they do work great. Like, you can pull up to something, put it underneath the tires, pull it, pick it up. But this one, in this case, this Mustang's got an old flat tire. I just haven't had it fixed yet. It's dry rot all around, and it's an expenditure for something that's just going to sit here and dry rot again. So I haven't got to it yet. But what I have noticed is when I use these, it just smashes the tire and the tire drags on the ground. It makes it really difficult to push, especially for a guy like me with a bad back that doesn't want to push very hard. So that's where these cheap ones come in nice, right? You have to jack the car up to get them in and out, whereas these you don't. You just pump them up and pump them down, right? But see, like those, you just slide in there and you crank them up and they lift the car. These ones you have to have a jack the tire, and then they slide underneath. But in this case, where it has a flat tire, these actually work better because they go underneath the tire, they cradle the entire tire, and then the flat tire can just be dropped on it. And it doesn't matter. It still rolls around just fine. So one one advantage is to the cheaper cart. See? Now this holds that whole deformed junk tire, whereas the other ones would pinch it out. So anyway, something I thought I'd show you if you're in the market for buying these. But like when you pull up to these and you just crank on them and lift the tire, I mean, you can't beat that. It beats getting the jack out and all that stuff any day, right? So that's ready to roll. You know, that definitely beats the jack. But anyway, oh yeah, down is down, up is up. Push it over a little bit so you don't get that hook cap. That's ready to roll. All right, she's up in the air. She's ready to be pushed around. I was gonna put this other one on probably here in a while, just to keep it level. We'll see. All right, let me push this thing out of the way. All right, I'm out of breath. I'm out of shape. But that gets that out of the way for a while. And we go back to doing what we were doing. I need to put this cardboard back on though. She does have a little rear end leak, and I think the radiator on her leaks. Oh, look, there was a wasp nest in there, evidently. So I gotta keep cardboard under her, but hey, it's an old project car for someday, right? It's actually my wife's. Yeah, I can't wait to see her work on it. Yeah, but she'll be like, you need to get that done. That's how she's gonna work on it. I want it this color. All right, so I've got her tie down strapped on her. I am using these medium-sized tie down straps instead of the big ones. The big ones wouldn't fit in the holes to get to the hooks on the bed, so I'm gonna lift it with this. I'm just gonna lift up on it a little bit and see what she does before I go crazy, and then I'll pick her up. My plan is to walk her back, and then I'm gonna use these Cobalt sawhorses to set it on top of. They hold like 1,300 pounds, so I think I'll be plenty safe. I think that's probably what, 8 or 6, I don't know, 6, 8 pounds, 100 pounds, who knows. But we'll see if these Cobalt sawhorses can take it. Yeah, so I'll pick her up, back her up, and put the sawhorses underneath her and set her down on there. That's kind of the plan anyway. We'll see how this goes. Again, I'll take it nice and slow to make sure that's not too much weight for these tie-down straps, but they should be fine. I'm not sure what they're rated at, to be honest with you, but I think it's like 600 pounds each. So I think they're gonna be fine. Yeah, it doesn't have a rating anymore. Yeah, so there you go. We'll just take it easy. We'll just take it easy. And then of course I want to check once I lift it up a little bit, make sure there's nothing else hanging on to the bed, because I don't want to rip anything off, you know. So let's lift her up and see what she does here.
Watch me sway, darkness falls, and we all pray, hoping for the light of day. Down to the river, I have held the devil's hand, felt the weight of my own sin, burdened by the heart of man. Down to the river, down to the river. Oh, bury me, carry me, beneath, fire and water me, going down deep, taught me how to give. Both of them had their own sins down to the river. Every man has felt the shame. All our blood, it runs the same. Father, hear us as we pray. Down to the river, down to the river. Sing, oh, oh, bury me, carry me, oh, oh, far beneath, oh, oh, fire and water me, going down deep, singing, oh, oh, bury me, carry me, oh, oh, far beneath, oh, oh, fire and water me, watching me clean, carry
All right, so we got her on the benches, just sitting nice. There's a couple pieces that go down in front. If you're wondering what all the commotion was, so I unhooked these wires, but they are popped in with these little things into the bed, so I should unpop those. Everything looks all right. I don't think I heard anything. And then this side was already taken apart because we had mice at one time when it was sitting, so that's what that is there. So we did pull on it though. So we'll definitely double check all our wires when we put it back together. But yeah, so I need to do a little corrosion control up in here, don't I? It'll be nice once I get the fuel pump out. I'll take it outside and we'll pressure wash her all down, clean her all up, and spray paint the chassis anyway. So that wasn't too terrible. When they were lifting it, my wife didn't realize when I said keep it level. I always assume she understands what I'm talking about. She didn't. So I was meant this way. She was trying to keep it level this way, which you couldn't do because of the way the tie down straps were. I had it high on that side on purpose to clear. And so she was looking from here to here, not looking from there to there. And then of course the front caught the side over there. Of course we just pulled for it. It didn't do anything, thank goodness. So it all worked out for the best in the end anyway. So, you know, of course being married to me, you get put in all kinds of weird positions. I'm always up to something, right? But yeah, it looks like we got a lot of rust up here, huh? Looks like I got some corrosion control to do, but it's kind of cool to see it like this way. So this is the fuel pump. So easy to get to when you get it like this, right? I'll clean up all around it first so nothing falls in the tank when I open her up, and then we'll get it there. Look at this, little ball in here. Amazing what you find in here, huh? But we'll clean up around it, and then I'll go ahead and pull that out. Take the parts off of it that I need, because I think there's one thing that I do need, the breather part I need, and then we'll put that in the new one and drop the new one in and get her hooked back up and then see if she runs. And then I'm going to leave it like this until I get it all cleaned up and sprayed down and everything else. So probably need to drag that tire. If you take it off, hey, there are a couple things to know. It's those things that are in the bed, like I just said. And then the other thing was this thing was catching. There's a little channel that it slides into. So I probably should have took this out because it goes in about an inch. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I guess I should have took this out before I put it on. I could take this off too. This was kind of in the way when we first started lifting. But yeah, so there you have it. All right, I've seen guys use punches and screwdrivers and hammers and stuff, but the strap wrench worked pretty good. I mean, just put a strap wrench around her, twisted her. I mean, she worked awesome. So I suggest that. I mean, I didn't do any damage at all. It loosened up pretty quick. I'm going to keep scrubbing this up because I just don't want any dirt in the tank. And then I'll have to go and remember which stuff to pull to get what off. But yep, we're getting there. We're getting there. Get her cleaned up. We can start swapping her out. All right, so that looks pretty decent to me. Good enough for now. I will clean it up once I get this stuff off. But you basically just got to pull this clip out, right? Push those in and pull this clip out. That's your fuel supply. And as well as this one, you got to get off. So I'm just going to keep twisting it back and forth to pull it off. You know, it's just a barbed it's just barbed pipe on there. This one, there's just push these little clips in on the very top. I've seen people like putting needle nose pliers in there and stuff. It's just made to do that. I mean, it's off. That's done. That's it. Off. Fuel lines hooked, unhooked. So just I don't know why people are doing it in all different ways. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All right, so I didn't really want to take my fuel line off before I did this. Get the backing hose out of here, but let me get this out. On this hose. Ah, come on, baby. I hate the barbs. Oh, come on. Up the hose. Up the hose. Trying not to break in. There it goes. All right. So there you go. I'm gonna clean up around the bottom of this before I pull this up. I really don't want to get anything in the gas tank. I mean, that's just. So probably. I don't think you can over clean. All right, so this is the dumbest part to me. I don't like when they do this kind of stuff, but this is, they reuse this part right here, you know. I guess it's just like a evaporator tube or something. Vent and an evaporator, I don't know. But anyway, I hate when they reuse stuff. Drives me crazy. Well, we gotta reuse this, and we gotta reuse the seal, or the cap. So, I've got to pry that out of there. I'm still trying to get junk out of here, man. I don't want to get any of this in my tank, you know. So, you got to pry this thing out of here. I think I'm going to try to pry this out first. Oh, I guess I already popped the top. I didn't realize I pulled that far out. But I wanted to pry this out while I had it locked in there. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. Good Lord. Come on, baby. What are you doing? There it goes. Oh, it almost had it. There it goes. Come on. I guess the whole thing's gonna come out. That's fine. Yes. There it goes. Avoiding getting any dirt in the tank. And that goes right in too. So let me get this out of here. I should do that after you take it out, I guess, then. Just so nothing falls in. All right, I got the big tank underneath just in case you get a bunch of leaking, which we will, leaking fuel. It's holding a ton of fuel inside the filter. All right, she's out. I'm sure there's gonna be a little bit of pain because it has to go over that big old bump. See, it's got that big lip on it. Now it has to go past that. Yeah, golly. What to put on that? What to put on that? Could do a little soap, I guess, but I don't really want soap in my fuel. Just a little bit of oil. See if that'll get it over. Oh, that worked. A little bit of oil. There you go. It popped right in. So there you have it. A little bit of oil does the trick. So on this one, it goes in the side. She's in there like this. Yeah, excuse me. Very simple. Pop, pop. Pop, pop. Yep, it goes in there like that. Okay. Let's get this sucker in there, and then I'm gonna get this gas out of here so I don't have to smell it. You one piece in, you can't get the other piece in. There she goes. There she goes. There he goes. Well, you gotta be gentle with that thing. Ridiculous. Why would they not give you that part? I mean, come on. It's like I'm gonna break it cleaning it. Much less taking it on and off that thing. Goodness gracious. All right, so let's get this on here if we can. There we go. Let's find the groove. Toss right in there. Seems to be going down there nice and even. Hook our fuel line. Hook our vapor line. Put our little extension clip in there, it comes with it. This doesn't fit on this. I don't know why they have to do that. Give us another clip, but I want to go under here. But they give us another clip and lock it. And we're set, other than tightening this up. Get all these rags out of the way. Pretty awesome. She started up. She hadn't run in a long time. It took her a second to get going. Good thing is I don't smell the gasoline. I had to open up the building though to get some air in here. I don't want to stay in here too long, but she's idling, she's running. That's good. She hadn't been running in a while. So I'd like to get her out of here, but I can't right now. I mean, I take tarps up and all that stuff, but I don't want to do that right now. I probably will here in the next day if it gets nice. Well, I think it's supposed to get cold anyway, but raining right now. I need to scrub her up, clean her up. Probably need to clean out the plenum. I know I need to do that every once in a while. The carburetor and the plenum get clogged up, so I'll probably work on that. There's a sensor in the top of the plenum that usually goes bad every, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. So I'll probably swap that out. But other than that, she's running. It's exciting to have her running again. All right, well, I'm gonna let her idle, but I'm gonna stand outside for a bit. I don't want to get fumigated here. It's good to have her going. That's how I replace the fuel pump. I don't know how everybody else does it, but I actually watched some guys on YouTube and it just makes me shake my head, but yeah. It's a good old truck. Alright, I gotta quit enjoying this and go out here.